It is the Riot. I am Hudson, as you may have noticed, and the reason I'm recording this intro for the Riot is not because the Riot didn't do a podcast today and this is like a worst of or anything like that. Actually, what happened is they tried to record an intro and it wound up just being Nikki talking to herself. Oh, but I was there. You just couldn't hear him, and so it's made absolutely no sense. So here I am to let you know that you're about to listen to the Riot podcast, and then later tonight, hopefully, you listen to this in time and you can catch Riot Game Night live with the Riot and me. And if you miss catching that live on the Riot's Facebook page, you can watch it not live later. It's live for us. It'll be later for you. You can still watch it. It'll be on our YouTube channel, the RadioU Riot YouTube channel as well. So without further ado, here is the podcast, not featuring me, but featuring Obadiah and Nikki. It is the Riot.
The worst of the Riot. Proof that you're already living in that dark future dystopia. RadioU.
I think there is a case to be made for the lack of direct communication that has resulted from the texting revolution. I don't know how long we've been texting as a society, 15 years, 20 years, I don't know. But I mean, you face it. There was a time when people, like if you were calling someone, that meant you went to their house. That's what calling was.
Oh, you mean like a home phone?
Like, no. I mean, back in the day, people had big porches and you like wandered past.
Oh, you'd
and, like,
walk over.
Oh, I'm calling on Nikki. So, whatever. Then pretty soon you had a phone call, which means you didn't have to walk over and see it. And people are like, man, nobody comes to sit on my big porch anymore.
Then
all
fast
they
forward
want to
a
do
few
is
more.
talk on the phone.
Then we don't have the phone anymore. You just text and that's it.
Now you just text. And I think there's a great case to be made that something was lost when we stopped going over to people's houses face to face. Something was lost when we stopped talking on the phone and only started texting. But I've got to tell you, I can't call you, okay? Like, you just need to...
You don't want to go back anymore?
We just need to text it out, okay? And if you're somebody that doesn't text, I respect you. I do. I respect the fact that you are hanging on to physical communication, verbal communication, tone, Nikki.
Yeah.
You like to talk about tone?
It's very important. And it's hard, I feel, in texting or messenger. Like, it's just hard if you're going to talk without being face-to-face to somebody or hearing the tone.
You can't get tone. And emoticons help, but they don't solve it.
Well, I'm fine running the risk.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that, like last night I had somebody I needed to talk to.
They wouldn't text you?
They don't text.
Oh.
And I was just like, and it's a choice. Like, it's a total choice. And I was like, oh,
it's like, you can't make this statement.
Oh, gosh. Well, you know what? This can wait until tomorrow. And maybe that's their end game. Like, you know what? If it's not important enough for a phone call, then I don't want to text.
So how do you think it'll go? Like, texting even now is slightly the way of a phone call. Like, I don't like when someone texts me as much compared to...
How do you want them to...
Well, that's the question. A lot of people use some sort of various messenger app, and that I feel like is the next iteration. But then where does it go after that?
I don't know.
Not talking to anybody?
Maybe. Like, well,
is that the end game?
Well, but you know what? It comes down to like the methods of communication ride the back of technological innovation.
Yeah, I just don't know what else there is.
We stopped going to people's houses because they invented the phone. We stopped talking because they've invented the text, quote unquote. So, what's the next thing? It'll be whatever the next piece of tech is. But
will it be like our little hologram thing or virtual reality?
It's interesting to me that
then we're face to face.
That you find texting to be more intrusive than...
Now I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, because then if you're in like a texting group and there's 8 of us and it won't stop and you got to mute everybody.
That's different.
Or sometimes I I wish every so often, if it's a big long conversation, I'm like, can't we just call? Can't we just stop this? I can't text anymore. I don't want to.
I've done that. Like I will say within the last week, I have stopped texting and called, and I just told him, I'm like, look,
just too long.
I'm tired of typing this.
But the heart of it is, I'm tired of even talking.
You
so
just
like,
don't want
I don't even
people
want to
at
do
all.
anything. Like, I don't think we need to even ask these questions.
Like my thing, I don't mind texts. I hate group texts, but that's a whole other discussion to be had, maybe in a group text. But I don't know. Like texting, I can't live without it, guys. I just can't. And if I can't text you, I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Look, everybody's doing it, okay? The national anthem plays. You take a knee, because whatever. Look, that's the big news if you guys haven't been following. Did you hear about this yesterday with the NFL?
I did, when they announced that you are not supposed to do that.
Not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to do that. Your team will get fined.
They say, or to do anything that shows disrespect for the national anthem.
During that time.
So if you're like, okay, we're not taking a knee, but we're all standing on one foot.
Sure.
Which, by the way, would be a much more difficult form of protest. I mean, you take a knee and it's like, well...
That seems like the easy way out.
You're resting. You got to stand there on one leg. That's going to really take something, especially with the way some of these national anthem singers go.
Now,
dragging out those notes.
If I recall as well, you can stay in the locker room, though.
That
you
is
don't have to
correct.
come out if you don't want to as a form of protest, or, I don't know, you just kneel maybe during the game itself, like if you're on the sidelines or something, but you're not allowed to do it during the Star-Spangled Banner.
During the anthem. So yesterday, all of the owners agreed to this. All of them did. And then once they made it public, they were like, well, yeah, I didn't
I think,
really
though,
agree
the 49ers coach, or the 49ers owner was the only one who didn't vote for it or something, but they all ended up going with it.
According to the news story I saw, there was unanimous agreement about the policy. And then afterwards, different coaches have been like, or not coaches, but owners are like, well, I didn't like it, but, I went with it. Or
and
whatever.
then one, I forget who, it's not the owner, but it's one of the main guys with it, said they'll pay the fines.
Yeah, that's with the Jets.
Yes.
And I actually thought that was the owner that said that they would pay the fine, but it wasn't?
I don't think so. I think it's one of the chairman people.
Oh, let's see. Pay the fines. Let me double check on that because I also, New York Jets co-owner.
Yeah.
I'll pay the fines for my players who kneel during the anthem. So,
now we're going to have more drama, which I think the NFL just wanted some of the drama to go away.
I don't think... for them, the NFL is having a problem right now. Their revenue is down, their viewership is down, and they say a lot of it revolves around this anthem protesting.
I know a lot of people, more than the fingers that I have, who will no longer watch.
After that firecracker incident, that's not quite as many.
But,
it's not as many.
As a statement.
Right.
I know more than that of people who will not watch NFL games anymore because of that very thing.
It's interesting.
And it's shocking to me because I thought, well, you just ignore that part or just watch the game, but they won't do any of it.
And they've held that out.
Oh, yeah, they're still doing that.
Because I know somebody that was like, I'm not shopping at Target anymore. And then when I was getting my popcorn, I look up and there they were.
No, they
down
will
the makeup
not.
aisle.
They will not. College football stuff, all the way.
Yeah.
NFL, no way.
Not so much. Well, they have a problem, and they're trying to fix it. The problem is that... They have the kind of problem that it seems like you can't fix it.
Sure.
Because the owners are like, no, we're going to respect them. Well, now you're not respecting what it's like to be an American because you're limiting speech. And like on and on and on and on and on. Those are really...
You're really at the table there.
I just...
Whoa.
You guys probably can't hear that.
You can't hear it, but easy on the table.
I didn't even hit it that hard.
I think you just hit a sweet spot with it.
Well, let's remember where that is so I can hit it again.
Yeah, put a little note there.
So that'll be, I will tell you that this is going to be something that people going to be talking about today.
Again, the NFL's like, please stop talking
Just
about it.
stop talking about it.
They thought that may could go away. It's not going to go away.
Let's talk about all the great football we're going to have.
Nope, it's worse.
Remember the old pigskin? Whee!
It's a wonder if they feel like their statement is strong enough to bring back the people who were so offended by it. But I don't know. They weren't even watching. They stopped it.
They didn't even know.
Who knows? I think too long has passed to where now they realize they could live without the NFL and their football games that they like so much.
Do they feel like they could live with like an XFL or an American Football League
Maybe.
or whatever the heck that's going to be next year?
Honestly, for some companies and shows and sports, the worst thing is when you realize the person can live without it. Like when I stopped watching a TV show and it's like, oh, I'm just fine. I liked it. I really, really liked it, but I don't want to watch it anymore.
And suddenly you're okay without
suddenly
it.
you're like, I'm okay.
I mean, you guys are really
time.
great, but you're not coffee.
Yeah, it's not.
So-
It's not like terribly important.
We can live without it.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Announcements were made yesterday, Nikki.
About
Subtly, quietly. One of those things where you're like, hey, what's that over there? Okay, take it back. We're done. No, nothing.
no one noticed that. No one
Nothing.
noticed it at all.
No big deal. So, we're getting a new Transformers movie this year. I don't think they've done any publicity for it.
I thought they said they were going to stop doing Transformers movies.
Oh.
I thought that was a
You're
big
a
thing.
sweet kid.
I thought they said it's not just working anymore.
So, no, they have taken... They're going to take a little time off, but this one's been in the pipeline forever. This is the 1980s set Bumblebee movie. John Cena is going to be in it, and so is... I can't remember what the female lead's name is, but I think, as I understand it, it's kind of like a young female lead, and she's supposed to be like the Spike Witwicky of this movie. Like, she's the one that becomes friends with Bumblebee, and I don't know what the heck they're going to do.
Bumblebee
but I just know
movie things. What do you think?
It's the 80s and a girl in John Cena. That's what I've got for you so far. That comes out December 21st of this year, which you move Transformers from the summer to the Christmas.
To the cold Christmas month.
But then they've moved Star Wars from Christmas to summer. I don't know what's going on. Like, they got movies just bouncing all over the place, right? But one of the things they did do is that apparently after this Bumblebee movie, they are not making another Transformers movie.
And that's what they talked about last year after the Knights one or whatever.
The Last Night.
Yeah, they said after that one, that was going to be a break for that traditional setup.
Well, I will tell you, as someone that has not really liked any of the Transformers movies, I have gone to see them in the theater, except for The Last Night. It was just...
That was the last resort. That was it.
It was Transformers The Last Straw.
Now, it might have done better if it was actually called that.
Maybe it would have.
But again, they were working on Bumblebee before with that one, so that's why that one's still coming out.
That actually might be a good movie for me to rent this weekend. Pick up Transformers The Last Night. I never watched it. It will probably...
I'm sure it'll sound good. And
exactly.
It'll probably look good, too.
Between the disc and the subwoofer, it'll create a crater where my house used to be, and that'll be perfect. So maybe that. But everybody said it was terrible. And when people are finally saying a Transformers movie is terrible, like, it's bad because the other ones were terrible too.
I was going to say they all seem bad.
So, whatever.
Well, I guess we'll find out for Bumblebee.
Yes.
That's still coming out at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be the last little look at Transformers stuff for a while. It'll come back eventually.
All they're doing is they're going to take like a 1-year hiatus. They're going to be back. They're going to retool, and it's going to be...
Better than ever.
Better than ever.
Is what they'll say.
To be clear, I actually think, as much as I think Michael Bay is an amazing action director, and I mean, you can't deny, no matter how dumb the movies are, they're the best looking movies out there.
No, but he has a style about him, and they need to move on if he's not able to change that style up.
I think you bring somebody in, you reboot it, and you make it it just needs to be different. I would be on board for that. I'd be interested in seeing a different take on transforming robots. Because there's a lot of drama left with transforming robots, guys.
A lot of drama still to be told.
Stories. I mean, think about it. It's a car that becomes a robot. You just blew my mind.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day.
Where's my food?
But they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
Here's something great. Lately, I haven't been buying movies. So, okay, I mean, with the exception of Black Panther and Justice League, but I got
outside
those.
of that was cheap.
I got digital codes. They were each $4. I can't say what I said now. Maybe I don't buy them often.
Yeah, and you haven't bought as many Blu-rays recently.
I haven't bought any Blu-rays. I haven't bought a Blu-ray all year.
You usually do that around Thanksgiving.
I haven't bought any Blu-rays all year.
Good.
I know. Look at him. What a guy.
You
Thank
want me
you.
to clap?
Thank
I mean,
you.
I can.
Thank you.
I will.
All right,
I am.
thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy and streaming services.
For poor movies that I don't even want to buy.
Oh, that's the most painful real one right there. That's the most
That's the heart
painfully
of
real
it.
one. So with that being said, oh crap, I did buy a movie this year. I did.
Lies left and right.
I know. It was in March. I was like, I didn't buy. I know I did. I bought one. All right.
So do you want to take that whole statement back?
Let's go ahead and remove everything I just said. But here's what I'm trying to say.
I'm taking my
How
clap
about this?
back.
Here's what I want to say, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
I didn't buy Thor Ragnarok, okay?
That's what you're saying?
I didn't buy it, and it's coming to Netflix, and I'm excited.
Man, I bought it.
Really?
Yeah, I bought it. I liked the movie. It was my favorite movie last year.
You frequently mock me for the purchases of films, and yet here you are.
I bought one.
Yep. That makes you.
How dare I?
That makes you guilty of all.
Is it?
It does. So, yeah, Thor is
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie, and I'm excited. It's going to be on Netflix June 5th. I haven't watched it again yet.
It is always a shame when you're like, well, I bought it, and you just know somewhere every movie you buy will eventually find its way to streaming for free or what you're already paying monthly for.
You can't totally feel bad about it, though, because in reality, those movies leave Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there before where you're like, oh, yeah, I want to watch this. Oh,
Gone.
crap.
It's gone.
It's gone. So how about this? New Voltron Legendary Defender. Woo! June 15th.
Yeah.
Nikki, come on. Yeah.
All right.
Aren't you? I'm excited.
Love it.
Go ahead.
You said Voltron, right?
Have your laughs.
Not
Fine.
laughing.
You know what? Here's one for you, Nikki. Season 14
of
Grey's Anatomy.
I love a show that makes it all the way to that.
I'm sure after 14 seasons, there's still new people to break up with, cheat on, and
die
weird medical
in the show.
problems. And let's see. I'm looking through what's coming to Netflix next month. You know, the only thing I really care about was the Thor thing.
That was it. Well, send me the list. I'd like to look through it.
I'd like to get a little peek at what's happening. Second season of Glow. Do you watch the wrestling movie?
I watched the first couple. A little bit more, not as much my style, I noticed.
It was.
I don't know how to delicately put that. I don't know.
It was.
Don't know.
How do you say in your English?
I don't want to offend.
I don't like it.
And it's not like it was intense. It was just intense in the things that I don't always like.
It's not really my thing.
So I did not finish it.
Okay. All right. Well, but here we go, Nikki. June 25th, Captain America Civil War is leaving Netflix. So when I bought that movie 2 years ago, that was totally worth the money.
Now that you'll have it.
Because I watch it every day. And now I don't have to be afraid that I can't watch it anymore.
Because it'll be leaving.
It's a relief, really. All that money is well spent.
I think you guys have learned the lesson to go ahead and buy the movie just in case.
Well, Thor's coming, though. That's something. So that'll tide me over until Black Friday, I guess.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Sorry, everybody. I forgot to leave a little something off the Netflix list.
How could you?
Go ahead, Nikki.
Oh, The Prince and Me 4, The Elephant Adventure.
The Prince
Are
and
you
Me
missing
4.
things from the royal wedding? Are things not quite, wonderful since the wonderful day?
Well, I've got that new extension for a Chrome that it blocks all the Prince references.
So you missed out on that?
So it completely took it out of the browser for
That'll
me.
be streaming, looks like on June 1st. Yay!
The original Prince and Me, I didn't know what this was. 2004, Paige Morgan is a focused pre-med student who becomes intrigued by Eddie, a wealthy Danish student. Despite Eddie's initially boorish behavior, Paige falls for him only to discover that his father and mother are the king and queen of Denmark.
I saw it, and it's just funny to see the start of a movie and then when it doesn't go to theaters like the rest of them, but when you see like there was a Prince and Me 2, 3, and now a 4.
I think the Prince and Me 2. No.
Oh, that I think
I was thinking of Princess Diaries.
Sure,
too.
that was different.
That did
With
go
Chris
to
Pine,
theaters.
You're right. You're
Yes.
totally right.
Nikki's like, if Chris Pine's in it, I've seen it. I got it on my iPad.
I went through your list of Netflix movies coming out in June, and I noticed that one. And a lot that I have no idea what they are.
We've got The Prince and Me, The Royal Wedding, The Prince and Me, A Royal Honeymoon, and lo and behold, there it is, The Prince and Me, The Elephant Adventure. And the interesting thing is it appears that there are different different stars in it every single time.
Isn't that funny?
There's a new one.
That's okay.
Yeah, it seems like they can't get them to come back.
I can't complain because a while back, whenever we normally go through this list, I say there's not enough what I feel is romantic, sort of lighthearted comedies, and they're giving me something.
What are you doing?
This might not be it, but
what are you doing?
I'm going to have to watch it.
Okay. Well, you know what? This isn't what we were going to talk about, but The Prince and Me needed its own time.
Thank you.
Its own time.
You remember that time you started your morning with a gas station breakfast sandwich and immediately regretted it? Yeah, it's like that. The Riot. RadioU.
I like reading about things that aren't important and don't add value to my day-to-day life.
Sure.
That's the kind of stuff I focus on. So a couple of weeks ago, I ended up...
Like The Onion?
The Babylon Bee.
Something like that.
Yes, exactly that. But a couple of weeks ago, I got lost in this article that was all about Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza. It was fascinating. It was about the guy, and now I know his name is going to escape me, the guy who founded Atari, and like how Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese.
Were those two different places?
They were. It was the 70s.
Is this like Adidas and Puma?
Kind of, yeah. Except, they weren't
Not
brothers, but they were basically the same idea. Back in the 70s and 80s, they were arcades that catered to kids, and they had pizza. And, we know Chuck E. Cheese had beer. I don't know about Showbiz. But then they also had these animatronic bands that would stop every how often, and these, like, weird robot animals would play music, and you would eat pizza, and I guess you were 8, so you didn't care.
And you were
then you went back to the
excited
arcade.
To be there, yeah.
It was like the best thing ever. Well, I just want you to know that some of those animatronic band materials have resurfaced at a bar in Kansas City called Rock-A-Fire. Now, it is a barcade, which means, it's basically a bar, but then they have a bunch of arcade machines. Well, these guys have, and I don't know where they got all of them.
But they worked hard to collect them.
But they managed to get the band back together from Showbiz Pizza.
So what did that look like compared to like a Chuck E. Cheese? So they had their own version of their characters?
Yeah, they did. I don't think they were as heavily branded as Chuck E. Cheese was. So, with Chuck E. Cheese, they had...
Like a mouse?
Chucky. But I think with Showbiz, like, for example, this guy said the one he was the most excited about getting a hold of was Fats Geronimo, a keyboard-playing silverback gorilla. He said when he was a kid, he couldn't tell if they were real or not. Aww. So it added to the mystique.
Boy, when you see the video of it, it is weird to see.
Oh,
but I guess if it's at a bar, then it'll be blurry. It'll be fine.
They figure that
no one's going to notice.
You had a couple.
Oh my
so you're
gosh,
like, I can't tell if it's real or not.
Everybody's going to be talking to them like they're real, like trying to ask them out on dates.
So what brings a gorilla like you to a bar like this?
What are you doing here? Can I buy you a drink?
My last boyfriend was very hairy, just like you are.
So I'm not going to say no if you want to go out on a date.
So that's part of their shtick, which barcades traffic pretty heavily on nostalgia. You go in, play some old school games, and this is just one more piece of their puzzle.
So wait a minute. Showbiz Pizza rebranded to Chuck E. Cheese?
No. Well, as I understand it, Chuck E. Cheese bought Showbiz.
Gotcha.
Because they were competitors, and for whatever reason, Showbiz just couldn't keep up with Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, it's something. It'll give your restaurant/bar a unique statement piece. That's a statement piece. It's a statement wall with all the animatronics.
Mm-hmm. It's something. Let's see. Rock-A-Fire tokens cost between $5 and $25. But the patrons who are... Okay, so basically, if you don't want to drink, you can go in and you can pay to play.
Yeah.
But if you order enough drinks, you can play for free. It's
really funny.
But then they know that you'll be drunk enough that you won't even want to play anymore. So
just order food. It's fine.
It's a win for them, I suppose.
How weird to see these things.
It's just fascinating to see people get a little bit older, get some money in their pocket, and what they decide to do with their business.
I'm just taking bits and pieces from this article, so I'm not sure where in the timeline this goes, but it seems like the ability to buy the Rock-A-Fire explosion came from a person who invented whack-a-mole. So the inventor of that had the band and he was able to buy it from that person.
Wow.
Weird. It's just weird.
Okay.
There's a guitar playing polar bear.
Did you see the name of the guy that they
I did not.
The owner of the bar claims to be named James Bond.
Sure.
I want that to be real, but...
Weird. That's in Kansas City, by the way.
It is. So, if you want to know, I got to tell you, like, a couple of these things look cool and some of them are nightmarish. Like, what is it? Freddy's. Like what is that called? Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah.
That.
Like that?
Like, I think some of the characters from Five Nights at Freddy's are based on these characters. They're scary.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's The Riot on RadioU.
This is your time, Nikki.
Oreo time?
Oreo time.
So I didn't know there's such a thing, but the Sweets and Snacks Expo just has been happening.
God bless the USA.
Isn't that very American? But I think it deals with worldwide stuff, too.
So not just America.
But during the Sweets and Snacks Expo, Oreo showed off their flavors for 2018.
Fantastic.
Now, if you go back in time, Oreos used to just be Oreos, and we joke we don't even know the flavor anymore. And now they come up with so many different options and limited edition flavors. But they have some more. So the 2018 one will include a partnership with Mickey and Disney. There'll be the limited edition Mickey Oreo, but it's just the birthday cake flavor. But it'll
they've done that before, right?
It's always out.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, birthday cake one's always out. But for this, it'll have special Mickey Mouse prints on the cookie.
Okay.
So they're figuring they could sell more just based off of that. So that's the first flavor coming out, or not really flavor, but the first new one. There's going to be a strawberry shortcake good humor bar.
Good
humor bar.
I don't even know what that is.
If you saw a picture of it, you would know it.
Okay, good humor bar.
Strawberry shortcake
Wait, is that the ice cream thing?
Yeah, the ice cream bar.
Okay, yeah.
That's going to be one of the flavors that should be coming out.
Okay.
Along with it.
I'll tell you what, I'll give it a...
You'll give it that. That and the Rocky Road trip will be released this summer. So you've got the good humor strawberry short. I sent you a link that shows the pictures of it.
I like a Rocky Road trip.
So that'd be a chocolate cookie with marshmallow bits and Rocky Road flavor cream.
Okay, wait. Now I'm getting it. We're still talking about Oreos.
Yes.
I actually, when you said it was a good humor bar, I was like... Oh, we're off Oreos now. No, this is an Oreo-flavored strawberry shortcake good humor. Wow, okay.
Yes. And then the Rocky Road one.
Guys.
You're
I'm
in?
back
You're
in.
on? Okay.
Dude, so Rocky Road.
It looks good.
Come on.
That will be released sometime this summer.
I love Rocky Road ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Then there's another one called chocolate peanut butter pie. I know.
Really?
I know. Now, this goes back to my grandmother. She used to always make me pistachio pudding, and I really love pistachio stuff.
Okay.
So they're going to have pistachio thin Oreos.
Okay.
So we don't always like the thin ones, but it'll have a pistachio flavor.
We'll give it a shot.
Dude, I will be eating those. And then last but not least, the holiday release will be... Oh, I was like, who's at the door?
You know what? That's Father Christmas, Sticky.
Oh, he's here.
He was just dropping by.
Will be peppermint bark.
You shut your filthy mouth.
You can look at the picture. It's got candy cane little things in it and all that wonderful. It's a peppermint flavored cream with crunchy sugar crystals.
You guys can't see it, but my mouth is wide open, both in shock, excitement, and a place to put the Oreo.
That one looks good. So that'll be the holiday Christmas edition peppermint bark Oreos.
Oh, do want. You know what? Once we get this Riot Live event over, it's practically Christmas.
I know, right?
I mean, we're practically
there. We are almost there. The peanut butter one I didn't mention, the chocolate peanut butter pie will be a graham cracker cookie with peanut butter and chocolate swirl.
Yes.
So the middle is like half peanut butter, half chocolate.
You know what? Here's the thing. I've thought the people at Oreo are done.
They've done all they can do.
They're out of ideas. Just pack it up, Oreo. Stick to what you're good at.
A bit lame recently.
Let me tell you what they've done. They've gone back to the drawing board and completely reinvented the wheel, and it's the best wheel ever.
So you've got chocolate peanut butter pie, you've got peppermint bark, you've got pistachio thins, the Mickey ones, the Rocky Road Trip Oreos, and the strawberry shortcake ones.
I want them all, please.
The Riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's The Riot.
Nikki, have you heard of the internet?
Yes, I have.
You know, they're streaming video on it now.
Yes,
It's
we
really
know
exciting.
that.
And, Nikki, have you heard of Doctor Who?
Yes, I've heard of Doctor Who and the TARDIS.
They're putting Doctor Who on the internet.
No.
What?
Are they streaming it or what?
Twitch is partnering with The Beeb, BBC Studios, and starting May 29th, which I believe is next Tuesday. Yeah, it's next Tuesday at 11 a.m. They're going to begin a Doctor Who marathon in which they will be streaming over 500 episodes of Doctor Who.
When Twitch does something, they usually go big and stream the entire setup of a show, like the entire series of it. That's a lot of Doctor Who.
That is so much
I feel
Doctor
like some
Who.
of the Doctor Who fervor, like just excitement, has kind of died down a little bit.
I agree with you.
At least with whenever we used to talk about it. You guys used to be more crazy about it, and it's died down.
I agree with you. It's been quiet. I was not a big fan of, I didn't watch very much Peter Capaldi Doctor Who. I'm very curious about the female doctor that they have hired. I want to see like where they go with that. I'm not saying I'm back on, but I think I'm certainly going to give it a shot.
So does this lead to the start of that? Is that what the promotion's for?
Is it? I don't know when Doctor Who starts back up. I thought it was, I thought they had a Christmas special coming, but you know what?
It's a hard schedule for a show because British shows, BBC stuff, it's like, well, we'll see you it's like for Game of Thrones where you're like, well, we'll see you in a couple of years.
See you in 2 years.
See you in 2 years. But for them, it's like, well, we'll see you in a Christmas episode.
That sounds about right. So what I've got here is just, I guess, a promo for this Doctor Who thing. Twitch has over 15 million active daily users. Of course, it doesn't cost anything to watch Twitch. So if you want to. Now, it's not like Doctor Who's going to be on demand.
Sure.
It's like
you're just
like
watching
TV.
it as it streams.
Like they're just streaming it out.
So if I remember, Amazon owns Twitch.
That's correct.
Yes, Amazon owns Twitch.
That is something that I will say as an we never talk about this, but as an Amazon Prime member, if you sign up with Twitch because they own Twitch, they give away a bunch of stuff every month. Yeah, like there was a game that I had been wanting to get and didn't buy, of course, but they gave it away for free on Twitch. Like I got, SteamWorld Dig 2 was free because I'm on Amazon Prime through Twitch. And every month they do like free stuff if you're a Prime member on Twitch. If you pay
attention to it. Twitch has had a resurgence because people are still mad at YouTube. And so lot of people have moved over, especially if you're just doing gameplay stuff, they're moving over from YouTube and streaming their content on Twitch.
Yeah, YouTube, like the way they're handling stuff with creators these days, pretty
making them mad, so they're going over there, and there is now more popular than it used to be.
You know, if you don't have that many people watching your stream, you don't get mad.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
You're fine. I know a guy that streams and doesn't have a ton of people that watches his stream, so he's not really worried about it.
Is that Obadiah Plays? Is that you?
Is
you
it?
Don't really care.
You know, if he would stream more often on a regular schedule, he might do better.
On Twitch.
I almost never do it. I need to. This weekend, I'm going to do some streaming.
If you want it to succeed, you need to put some time and effort into it.
And you know what? Obviously, I don't want to that badly.
Well, if you find Obadiah Plays on Twitch, maybe one day he'll go back on.
You never know.
Remember when we said things couldn't get any worse? We were wrong. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So we've heard about Call of Duty Black Ops 4 that's coming out in October. Well, now there's another shooter that needs your money. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Money, money, money. Battlefield 5.
That might be the best description ever.
So Battlefield 1, it's been 2 years since that was out. And, you know, I had a blast with the single player in Battlefield 1. Overall, I didn't spend very much time with it. But there was a story about... it was like, because in the single player campaign, they had 3 stories. I played them all, but my favorite was the guy's a pilot. And that...
Wait, it was the one where, didn't we talk about it? What happens with it? There was a bird or something?
There's a twist at the end of it. It is probably one of my favorite. It was almost like a video game short story.
Sure.
It maybe lasted an hour, maybe 2 hours, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. Barely played the multiplayer at all, but that one little bit made for such a great little story.
So what about for the new Battlefield?
Well, they say that's what they're going to do again with Battlefield 5. Now they're moving from World War I into World War II. Single player will have vignettes, kind of like Battlefield 1 did. They say they're going to be a little bit larger. They're also saying that there's a new co-op mode that's being introduced. So you'll play with friends and have kind of mission-based objectives. But this is, again, a completely separate mode. And then they'll have their standard
online
multiplayer kind of thing. They do say the multiplayer focus of Battlefield 5 will lend itself towards squad gameplay. So you'll be relying on other players to be healed and to get ammo, which, if I'm doing some more reading about Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it feels like everybody's chasing Overwatch just a little bit. Like, hey, you've got a class, you need to play your class, and it's important that you play together or, you're not going to be successful.
Teamwork,
blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Play your class!
So work on your friends now. To be ready to go.
And they say that they are going to be leaning away from, like most World War II games, it's like you've got the beaches at Normandy. They always do like very specific battles. And they say that that is not what they're doing. They are going after more of the side stories of World War II, smaller battles, locations that you don't typically see featured.
So then that way you don't have fatigue with it where you're seeing the same battles over and over again. They want you to make it new.
That's what they say. And here's a quote. They want to challenge your preconceptions of the Second World War. So, you know what? I don't know. I've been doing, this is a complete side note.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll play Battlefield 5. I'm very interested in it. But one of the things that I have been doing is listening to this podcast, Hardcore History, talks about war. The more I listen to him talk about World War I don't know why, we go to war. I know I get it. I get it. It's complicated. I'm just giving you my emotional take on it. Hearing about it, why we would ever do that to each other, one. And two, why are we playing games about it?
Sure.
Why have we turned it into a game? It's the most horrific thing that happens in human society. Man's inhumanity to man. Isn't it fun?
That's probably not as popular of a side note.
I get it. I get it.
People play.
I have an intellectual divide between, hey, I think it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy playing certain kinds of games that are violent. But you know what? It's one of those things where like, hey, it's not real. And therefore, we're playing. It's not real. But one step away from that is the intellectual, decision of like, hey, this was a horrific time in history. Why are we trying to accurately recreate it?
That's why he does better with games set in space with battles there.
I do like
no
space
one's
games.
fought in space yet.
It's not real.
Oh, you can just shoot away.
Ping, 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 ping. It's fine. Sorry.
Or if there's zombies or something else.
Yeah, because, zombies, they had it coming, right? Right? I don't have the release date here, but Battlefield 5 is out this fall.
The Riot. Turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
RadioU.
Interesting thing is that the Riot has a lot in common with the MLB. We've got some exclusive Facebook streaming taking place today.
We do.
So Major League Baseball and Facebook have teamed up, and they are showing 25 games exclusively on Facebook this year. One of those happens today. 12:37 p.m. Eastern, the Los Angeles Angels will face off against the Toronto Blue Jays, and you can only watch it on Facebook.
So you can't watch it locally or any other source? No one else is carrying the game?
There isn't a single other place that game, unless it's on like their MLB TV app, and I don't know it. No. Okay, here we go. You can't watch them live on MLB.TV, but you can watch them 90 minutes afterwards on MLB TV.
On the site.
Though you have to wonder, if you're capable of viewing a game on MLB TV, why wouldn't you just watch it on Facebook?
True.
But that is an actual interesting point, because I'm reading an article here that apparently Twitter is flooded with people complaining in a lot of cases on behalf of other people about the fact that they can't watch it. Apparently, Major League Baseball has a very large following among older adults.
Older adults have Facebook. Everybody's grandmother or grandparents, they're all on it.
Well, they don't want to sit at their computer.
Oh, and watch it. Well, just watch on your phone.
They don't want to.
Okay, well, we can't help you then.
For them, their argument is like, hey, I have this 47-inch TV.
Well,
Why am I
there.
staring at my phone?
You can still watch it there. Then
They don't know how to do that.
Then you've got to go over and help your grandparents. Go over and set it up.
Well, it's interesting because my attitude, your attitude.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm just like,
We
what?
can fix this problem.
Just cast it.
We can fix this.
Just cast it. Or your computer's not hooked up to your TV, too?
We'll do that. It'll be fine.
You just run it through there. What's the problem? And then you begin to realize, Nikki, that you and I, in reality, are not... We certainly aren't mainstream for old people, but we're not even mainstream. The ability that you and I have to throw away our money on useless, well, semi-useless technological wonders.
So that one day, that one time, you can watch it on your TV for the game that was on Facebook.
It's perfect for us. It's perfect.
Well, we can help because we have the technology then to fix it for them.
But most people are just like, I don't know how to get this newfangled thing to do the thing.
That's surprising.
Yeah, well, a lot of
Facebook,
people complaining.
I still think is for a choice. I mean, so many people have it. Almost everybody has it, and I know not everybody does, but almost everybody.
Sure.
I was more curious about who would be doing the production for it. Like, who are the sportscasters, and what's the look of it going to be like compared to if you had a game on ESPN or any of the other major networks? With the production quality, is it MLB that's doing it? Is it their people, and they're just showing it early or showing it during it on Facebook?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Because people are sometimes particular about not just where you're watching it, but who's doing it and how it'll be portrayed.
Well, like for me, college sports, I actually don't really like watching them on Fox, and Fox picked up a ton of games last year, and I'm not as much a fan of their commentators or their graphics, and I know that is so stupid.
Isn't that weird? But
it's so stupid, but I'm just like,
what
wait,
it is.
Go back to the ESPN graphics. I don't like different. I need same.
People have preferences for it. So I wasn't sure, like, is it a Facebook production? Do they have some crew doing it? Who knows?
What you just said is enough to make me want to turn it on and see what it looks like.
Take a peek, see how it looks.
But I won't really have anything to compare it to, so I'll just be like, well,
that was a fun couple of minutes.
Man has stick, hits ball, looks right.
I really like baseball in person to go see a game. It's hard for me to watch a game.
Be honest. You like the food that they have at baseball.
Well, the pretzels are good.
I will take one of those. Over here, sir.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. Money, money, money.